Hey everybody, Shane here, Shoebox Legends. Thanks for stopping by the channel for another video. In today's installment, we are going to do a buyback rummage. So I have this little box here, which is filled with, I think, really mostly stars, Hall of Famers, and other like more notable buybacks. Small box, but it has some fire in it. And as we usually do in these rummages, I'm just going to pull from these until we get to about the 10-minute mark and see what we can come up with. And then anything that I pull will be evaluated for my buyback Frankenset project. But before we dive into the box, I have this one up as the backdrop for today's intro. Grabbed this off of eBay maybe a few weeks ago now. Beautiful 1973 Topps Fergie Jenkins from the 2022 Topps Heritage Box Topper Buyback program. So great Hall of Famer there. He was a model of consistency and reliability and durability during his long MLB career. And that's a great one to start with. And let's see if we can pull anything out of the box today that will kind of rival that Fergie Jenkins. So we are going to start off with one of the best cards of the 1970s. Mr. Cool himself, Lowell Palmer, pitcher for the Philadelphia Phillies. And it's very obvious why this is a notable card to me, or would have made it into this box. It's those shades. Just epic. I've always remembered this card since I was a kid, just because it's one of the very few old school vintage baseball cards where you'll see a player rocking sunglasses. So that is an amazing start. And that one I think will have a very high likelihood of making the Frankensets. Probably an odd card number as well. Yeah, card number 252. And as if the front wasn't cool enough, on the back we learned that Lowell's hobby is raising pigeons. I would love to go back in a time machine to 1970 and have a couple beers with this guy and just kind of pick his brain a little bit. That is an interesting character right there. Not the start you were probably expecting to today's rummage. Here's another random one. This is the father and son subset featuring Dizzy TROUT and his son Steve from the 2017 Rediscover Topps program. This was initially, I think, a 1985 Topps card, but I love the Trout design there. It's kind of like medieval looking on the back of this. Looks like a scroll or something. I don't really understand what Topps was going for there, but there you go. And of course, I enjoy this one because it features my favorite vintage set, 1953 Topps, and that Dizzy TROUT is a recognizable card from that set, mostly due to those shades. So this is really, I guess, an appropriate card to follow Lowell Palmer there. It's all about the eyewear, the early going here in this rummage. All right, next up, more recent Hall of Famer here, Scott Rowland for the Philadelphia Phillies. I wasn't collecting at the end of the 20th century, but I believe this is a 1999 Topps release. We could probably take a look at the back. Yeah, we have stats through 98 on the back. So 99 Topps, Scott Rowland buyback. Great base running image there. And that one's also from the 2017 Rediscover Topps buyback program. So aside from the Fergie Jenkins, that's our first Hall of Famer today, the first one to come out of the box anyway. Check this one out. Thurman Munson on the 1978 Topps release. You won't see many of these out there. This is from the 2014 Topps buyback program, where they use these 75th anniversary stamps of varying sizes. This one is very small, but there are other buybacks from this same program where the stamp is, maybe 3 or 4 times that size. So you could almost miss this one, especially where it's situated here, kind of up in the crowd in the background. But that's a very special Thurman Munson card. And of course, I love that image as well. He's someone who had quite a few great cards in his limited time in the league before his tragic passing. So great card there. And as predicted, this box is definitely star-studded. And here's another awesome one. This is from the same program as the Thurman Munson. You can see the stamp is the same, but a 1968 Topps Gil Hodges during his tenure as manager for the Mets. This would have been 1 year before the Miracle Mets of '69, but I love that kind of ragged look on Gil there. It's a man who's seen a lot in baseball, and just a great photograph. Love that Mets uniform. A lot to love about this one. And yeah, I would be surprised if nearly every one of these didn't make the Frankenset binder with the type of cards that are coming out here. This one's not a Hall of Famer. It's just in here because I love the guy. It's funny, and it's, again, a perfect throwback to the Lowell Palmer and even the Dizzy Dean, because Kent Tecove, another guy who is known for his amazing eyewear. I'm going to have to probably title this episode something along those lines, but great shot there on the 79 Topps design, wearing one of the many, many, many different iterations of Pirates uniforms from back in that time period. But love me some Tecove, and happy to see another buyback of his. That one may even be a dupe, I'm not sure. This is another pitcher from around that era, and someone who also kind of had a tragic ending to his career, J.R. Richard for the Houston Astros. And you can see here what I was referring to, that larger 2014 Topps buyback stamp. This is from the same program as the Thurman Munson and the Gil Hodges, but if I hold them up side by side, you can see the stamp is significantly bigger on the J.R. Richard. But cool photo there. This guy, of course, was a strikeout king and a fireball hurler at the major league level before he unfortunately suffered, I believe, a stroke. And I think it happened during pregame warmups, and never really was the same pitcher, and basically spelled the end of his career. So he's not a Hall of Famer or anything for that reason, but in the early part of his career, it looked like he was on track for that. And so I think this is a fascinating buyback in that sense. Plus, you can never go wrong with those Tequila Sunrise Houston Astros uniforms. Great photograph on that one. Next up is a very well-known manager, Dick Williams, for the Oakland A's here, but also managed other franchises, including notably the Impossible Dream 1967 Boston Red Sox team. But a great one here. I love the 72 design. Big fan of that. And this has a lot of contrasting colors here with the, red of the border and then the green and white of those, that warm-up jacket and cap there. So really great manager. Happy to see this one spill out of the box. I did not remember that I had this card in buyback form. So great rummage here today. We still have a few more minutes, so we'll keep pulling here. And here's a cool one. Bert Blyleven on the 75 Topps issue, blowing a giant bubble in the dugout. Always thought that was a comical image of his. And once again, kind of appropriate that we would pull that one during the episode where Lowell Palmer let us off, because this is another sort of comical 1970s release here. Although in this case, it's a Hall of Famer. So this is not a card to laugh at by any means. It's from the 2015 Topps original buyback program. So that is a beautiful looking Bert Blyleven. It's even well centered. Usually these buybacks are kind of off kilter and beat to heck, but that's a pretty nice looking 75 right there. Love that card. All right. How about a more modern card? These buybacks, go all the way up to the mid 2010s. And this one here is a 2012 Clayton Kershaw. In my estimation, a top 5 pitcher. I think anybody's estimation, a top 5 pitcher in the 21st century so far. I'd also put guys like Justin Verlander and Max Scherzer and a couple others on that list. But Kershaw is certainly on that list for me. He's destined for Cooperstown in the future, and so pretty cool to see this one. Great shot of him as well, delivering the pitch to home plate. And this is from the 2016 Topps 65th anniversary buyback program. Great Kershaw there. I've done episodes in the past where I've gotten into the difference between all the different types of buybacks, so I'm not going to get into that today, but suffice it to say that is a Clayton card that you won't see every day, and a pretty promising candidate for slot number 600 in the Frankenset. All right, let's pull one more at least here. Really cool one. 57 Topps Rip Coleman. And what's great about this, Rip Coleman, not a household name by any means, but I've mentioned this before. 1957 Topps is about the oldest pack-issued foil-stamped buyback you're going to find out of modern products, because prior to that, the cards were oversized. And so there are buybacks of, early 50s cards and things like that, but they're not traditional pack-issued, alongside normal Topps cards like these ones are. And so finding a 57 like this is actually really, really tough. Bought this one probably 5, 6, 7, maybe 8 years back on ComC. It's kind of been waiting around in my buyback trove ever since. And today finally got to see the light of day. And we'll see if it makes the Frankenset in spot 354. Let's do one more card here. Then we'll call it quits. And we're going to finish with this nice team card, beautiful team card of the Mets from 1967 Topps. We saw the 68 Gil Hodges a few minutes ago. We finish off with another great Mets card here. A couple of years before they found success, this was probably during the period where it was a little bit rough to be a Mets fan as they were getting established as a franchise throughout the 60s. But love these team cards. I miss these team cards in the Topps flagship set in the modern era. And this one is perfectly stamped front and center with that beautiful 50th anniversary buyback stamp. So the Mets conclude today's rummage. Saw a lot of really cool and unique buybacks here just among this small grouping of cards. This tiny little box definitely delivered, and I'm looking forward to going to sort these away and seeing which ones make the set. Truly appreciate you stopping by. I hope you enjoyed this as well. And obviously I'll be back very soon with some more sports card content. But until then, just take care and enjoy the hobby. See ya.